Assalamu alaikum everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the Firebase in KMP projects in Kotlin Multiplatform. So in this particular video, we are going to log in. We are going to use the Firebase authentication to create user and sign in user. So this is basically a structure of showing you how you can use the Firebase in KMP. So you can use other services also, like Firebase config, Firebase database, Firebase real-time database with the same way I am going to show you. It's this one is a pretty easy way. There are other ways which are pretty difficult. So we are not going to use any third-party library. We are implementing all the things on our own. So we are using Firebase and Firebase libraries. The other library we are using is dependency injection by Coin. So we are using the Coin library as well. So let's start. The first step we have to do is obviously we have to create a KMP project. For this I particularly use this website kmp.jetbrains.com, and here you can just write the name, project ID, Android iOS if you want to use the CMP, which is compose multi-platform, which we are also going to use in this and just create the project, right? So I already created the project and I have the project open here in my Android Studio. You can see this. So let's go through the project structure. What we have. So you see we have this compose app, which is a shared module. Sorry, this is not the shared module. This is the shared module, common main. And this is the Android main and this is the iOS main. So the code we write in the common main is shared between Android and iOS. Even the code you write in the common main you can access here in the iOS app. This is particularly Swift code, iOS app. This iOS main is also a Kotlin code, but it uses the Swift code as well, like the Swift code which is already converted into the Kotlin. So let me show you what I already have done. I created a, if we go in the common main Kotlin, I created this screen, login screen, and this is login view model. So this is pretty easy. There is nothing complicated things, just a text view with two boxes, one button, login, right? And if I run this, let me show you the output of it as well. Oh, it will take some time because this is the first time it's building. Okay, so it's running. So if we see here, we have this email, password, and login button. Okay, we have all the login button, but I will create another button to create the account. Okay, so one more thing we have to do is, you see here iOS app, this code we have to open in the Xcode because we can't run it from Android Studio. So if I expand this is, you can see iOS app.xcode project. Right click on it, open in associated application. So when I click on this, it so this code is opened in Xcode, right? So we can run it here as well. So if I click on this run button, it will run the code in 17. We can see the output there as well. So it should show the shared UI. Okay, it's gonna take some time to build and run for the first time. It's particularly slow here in the Xcode side, but it runs well on the iOS side. Sorry, on the Android side. So okay, it's running. Okay, so it's running. You can see the UI is shared. Here is the Android emulator and here is the iOS emulator. We didn't done anything yet. So this is very pretty simple code which is shared. So I will minimize both simulators. And one more thing I will show you. If I go here in the Android side, I already implemented the coin module, which is used for the dependency injection, which we already we are going to use. So if I come over here in the compose app and this build.gradle.kts, you can see this. I implement on Android main. I implemented this library libs.coin.android. If I go in the libs, these are the coin shared. This one is for the Android, and we have the coin core, which is shade module, and coin compose and combine compose view model. This is for the view model. Okay, so if I go back, one library I implemented here in the Android main, and 1 2 3 other I already added in the common main, which is the dependencies you add here or are shared between Android and iOS. So we can use this Firebase without coin as well, but it's a good practice to use the coin because it will make our life easy. Okay, so I added these modules, and if I go in the common main, I have this app module. So this is by the coin, where we say that okay, this is the view model which are we going to provide. So any screen which wants this login view model will be provided by the coin, right? So here we have the coin code. This we have to initialize coin a module. We have to provide module which basically we start this at the runtime. So initialize the modules which we want, right? So these two codes, we have to call this initialize coin function from the Android side when the app runs. So if I go in the Android manifest, you add this name domain application. This is the code which runs as soon as our application launches, right? So here we are calling that function init coin, initialize coin from here. So this is being initialized from the Android side, right? We have to do the same thing on the iOS side as well. So as I said earlier that the code we write in the common main is shared. What I mean by the shared, that this code we write we can access in the Swift Xcode as well. So I was saying that the code we write here in the common main is shared between Android and iOS side. So which means that we can access this code on the Swift side, on the iOS side as well. So if you remember, we already opened this code, this iOS app in the Xcode. So if I go over here, and so if you open this app, this is the first part of the application which runs when we execute this iOS application. So here we have to initialize the coin dependency as well, right? So coin kt, this is the, if I go over here, coin.kt, this is the file name coin kt, and this is the init coin method name. Sorry for this. So do initialize coin. So it a little bit change the names. So do init coin, but our method name is init coin, so it's same. This is calling that method. So because we imported the compose app, which is a shared module, so we can access those files over here, coinkt.do init coin. If I click here, you will see the Swift equivalent code of that Kotlin code. Okay, so right now what we have done is we implemented the coin. Second, we created simple shared UI, which is a login screen. Okay, the next step we have to do is we have to connect our application with the Firebase, right? So we have to do this on the Android side and on the Xcode, on the iOS side as well. So we have to do it 2 times. Okay, so first we will do it on the Android side. First I will go here on the Firebase console. First we have to create the project. I will click on create a new Firebase project. We can name it KMP auth test maybe. Click continue, create project. So it will create our project, right? So we will wait some time, let it initialize the things. Okay, so it's ready right now. We will click on continue. So right now what steps I am doing is these are basic steps which we do on the Android side and on the iOS side as well, because we create Firebase, we connect Firebase. These are the basic things. Next, we are going to use the Firebase authentication, simple authentication. So we have to enable that feature in the authentication. We go in the authentication, we click on get started. Okay, wait some time. We'll use this email and password. You can use anyone, but the code I'm going to show you how to use, you can use any of the things if you just modify the little bit code. Okay, so we'll use the email and password. We will enable this and save it. Right, so right now what we did is we just created the Firebase project on the Firebase console. Right now it's not connected with Android or our iOS side. Let me see if the video is recording or not. Okay, it's recording. So let's go on the open the Android side, Android studio. We'll go on the Android main side. Okay, so if you see over here on the tools, you can connect your project on with the Firebase easily. So we'll click on the tools, then we will click on the Firebase. Here authentication, custom authentication. So this is the first step, connect your app to Firebase. We click on connect to Firebase. It will open this prompt in your browser. So it's asking which project we have to connect. So this is the KMP auth test which we just created. We'll connect with this. Let's wait for some time again. We'll click on connect. So this is the automatic way from the Android Studio. There is another way. You just add the libraries and you just manually put the files in the Android Studio. So let me move my camera back over here and hide this. Okay, so it's saying that it's connected. How we will make sure that it's connected? If we open the Android main, we see this google services.json. This is the file which helps to connect with the Firebase, right? And we can see the Firebase libraries over here as well. Okay, it's connected, by the way, I know. So so right now Firebase is connected. Now we have to implement the libraries which are we going to use. We are going to use the Firebase authentication, so we will add the Firebase authentication libraries over here in the dependencies, because this is the dependencies for the Android, right? So I don't remember the code for the library, so I will just copy from here. I wrote it here. This is the Firebase boom. We will add this. I will copy this and go here. We will open the libs file, which is, I think it's in the greater folder right here. So if you go on the top, these are the lines where we put the versions. Here I will put this version Firebase boom. I will tell you what Firebase boom does. Just wait. So I will copy these two lines and we will go on the bottom here on the libraries. I will put it here. Remove this line. So we have Firebase boom, Firebase crash lattice. Okay, it's not crash lattice, Firebase auth. I think I made a mistake when copying these. So we will go back in the build.gradle.kts, and here we have to, what was it called, implementation, platform libs.firebase.boom and libs.firebase.auth. So libs.firebase.auth. If I go here, lib firebase auth, this dash is act as a dot. So it's showing error because we have to just click on the sync here. I will click on the sync and see if it works or it shows some error. Again, we have to wait some time. Okay, failed to resolve com.google.firebase.auth. I think this home library I didn't added it correctly because I don't remember the code. So I will open my other project where I use the Firebase and see how I did. So you can ignore the other code from here. Platform leaves Firebase.boom. Okay, it seems correct. Let me go back here. Implementation. Okay, I think we have to manually apply the uh, Firebase module on the top because we didn't add in the module. So I will copy the code from here. So this is Google services. And we have to copy this line as well. So these are just the libraries we are implementing. So in plugins we will add this. We have to add the version as well. So Google services, what was the version? I will copy from here. 4.4.4. And I think okay, Android library Kotlin. This should work. Okay, so we have to apply it here as well. Let's try to sync it. I should have shown the manual version of connecting with the Firebase instead of that tools. So this is just simple. You have to just connect your project with the Firebase. You can add the libraries, add the info plist, sorry, not the info plist, this JSON, downloaded JSON from there, add it here. Okay, so again we are having the failed to find maybe Google Firebase. Maybe there is an issue. Firebase crashlet is Firebase auth. Okay, let's use just Firebase auth. Okay, we are not getting any error. So I think the issue was here in the Firebase auth. I didn't wrote the correct spelling. I was trying to add the KTX library, which works with the coroutines, but okay, it's fine. So we'll go in the Android and see if Firebase is actually working or not. We'll go open the Compose app and go in the sources common, so not in the common, in the Android, in the Kotlin. Okay. Okay, we can see the Firebase libraries. think we have to initialize the Firebase as well. Sometime it works, sometime it do issues. This is on the Android side. Okay, first we are doing on the Android side. Okay, Firebase.initialize this. So now is the main thing. Now we have to write a code which will be shared between Android and on the iOS side. So okay, so remember right now I just connected the Android part with the Firebase, right? We have to connect the iOS side with the Firebase as well. So we will do it later. Let's first complete the Android side. So I will go in the compose Kotlin here. So here I will create an interface. So what interface is? It's just an abstract class, not a class, but just you can just say that I will create abstract methods which we will implement on the Android side and on the iOS side as well. So let's see what we need. If I go open this, so we will add one more button, create. So what we need to do is we need to create user, we need to log in, and maybe we need a method to know if a user is logged in or not, right? So let's, right now we'll create an interface. We'll create interface, what we name it, let's say auth. Okay, let's maybe not name it auth, let's name it something Firebase auth. Okay, so in this interface, let's create a method suspend fun create user, right? So okay, this autocomplete is trying to complete what I'm going to write, but I will not use it. So in the create user, we will have to pass, because to create a user we will need the email and password, right? So we will need email string and password string, right? So it needs to return something as well, basically a result. So this is a result by the Kotlin class. So let's say right now we will not pass anything, just a unit result if a success or failure. This is create user. We will need another method login. Okay, we can name it something generic like create and login. So for the create we will need the email password, for the login we will need an email and password, right? So this code I wrote in the common main. Okay, so what I said earlier, that the common main is a shared code. We can access that code in the Android and we can access that code in the iOS side as well. So right now we will just access it on the Android side. Okay, so I will go over here in the Android main Kotlin. So I will create a new class, new Kotlin class. Let's say Firebase auth impl, because this is just an implementation of Firebase auth interface. Okay, so now we will implement that Firebase auth. It's already doing this for me. So I will implement Firebase auth. So now it's asking me to implement those two methods. Okay, so now we are on the Android side. We have to provide the implementation for the create and login. So now this is just asking how to create a user and how to log in a user, right? So okay, well, let's say Firebase auth or not the Firebase auth, just the other Firebase auth by the Firebase library, not with the Firebase auth.cat instance. So this is Firebase auth dot create user with email and password, right? So we pass email and password. So there is just one confusion. This Firebase auth is not our interface name. So to avoid the confusion, I will change this interface name. We named it Firebase auth. I will name it let's say my auth, because it can create the confusion afterwards. So I will change the file name as well. So this is the interface we created in the common main. I just changed its name. So if I go back here, I will name it my auth. Okay. So in the CAD we have to provide the actual functionality how it will create the user. So we say Firebase auth create user with email and password. Let's say if I can call the await. Okay, awesome. So I can call the await, which returns the task. Val result dot, okay, I will what result dot await so if result dot user is equal to null, it means the user is not created. So we'll return the exception with the message whatever the Firebase has returned. Result dot exception. Can I call the exception? Okay, what I will do is I will let's say let's return the simple message fail to create message. I'm not able to access the auth result. Maybe I think the await throws the exception as well. Okay, right now we will not do anything complicated, just this. Okay, and we'll do same thing on the Firebase this login side, Firebase auth dot sign in with email and password dot await. Here we will have the bad result. We will do something same here. Fail to login user. Okay, so we provided the simple implementation. Now we created this Firebase auth. We have to provide it on the common main somehow. Like how common main is going to access this. So common main is going to access this through coin. If you remember, we created the coin. So with that coin and dependency injection, this is going to be passed to the common main. So if I go here in the common main app coin, so here we are initializing the coin. So here I will say, I will create another parameter which will be auth my auth. Okay, right now I will make it as optionable. So on the modules, what was that modules? Yes, dot apply auth bind to my auth class. Okay, we don't have to make it optionable, but right now I'm just making it optionable so that it don't give me an error on the side, because first we are running it on only on the Android side. Okay, so what I did here is, when we are initializing the coin, I am injecting one more module, not a module, just an implementation of the class. This was the app module, so I'm saying that okay, inject these modules and inject this my implementation as well. Okay, so now when we injected, we have to go here in the Android main application. We will see something here. When initializing the coin, we have to provide that implementation here. So here auth, my auth, so we'll provide this Firebase auth implementation like this, right? So it's like this. So now we can access this module in the view model. So we can say that here we will need the that module, net auth, my auth, and here we have to pass that as well. Modules to apply single auth. We can say that okay. So I'm doing it like this. I'm first passing this our authentication module, then passing this module, because we have to first pass this, because this is the dependency in the login view model, so it can create issue. So okay, in the login screen we can get this. Here we'll create another method, one create user email password, and we run on the view model scope, and auth dot create email password. It will return a result. So result dot on success and on failure. So right now we will just print something on success. User created successfully and failed to create user, right? So we will just right now we will test this if it's working or not. We go in the login screen, we have this button login, we will create another button create user, and view model dot create user. Okay, so instead of taking parameters, we can just directly access these email and password. Okay, right? So now the moment of truth, we will test it. I will run it on the Android and go in the logcat. I will filter the logs to just look for these two prints. Let's see what happens, if it works or not. Right now it's building. Okay, it's running. The app didn't crash. I will filter it. Will test at Gmail password 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, it crashed. Let's see why it crashed. Firebase exception operation not permitted. Okay, so we just have to add this permission to use the internet in the Android module, obviously. So we'll run it again. Let's try again. Let's see if it works. Test and okay, crashed again. Why? Let's see. Firebase auth API operation not permitted. This looks like the same error, so I think I have to build the application again before running it. So build clean project. So let's see again if it works or not. It's not taking the input from my keyboard, so I'm having difficulties to writing. Test.gmail password is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, crashed again. Why? See if I'm connected to the internet. Okay, this looks like the internet connection error, but we added this library as well. So instead of wasting time, I will just ask the ChatGPT why it's crashing. So where's the network permission error? Okay, I already added this internet permission. Okay, let's try to add this and the network state as well, because I don't think so we have to. What I will do is instead of running there, I will run on my actual phone. So I will just open wireless debugging here, then we can see it here. So it's connected, but I will add this manifest. This we don't have to add this, but maybe let's try. Let's try on my device. Maybe it's the internet connection issue on the emulator. Okay, this time it didn't crash. Let's see the logs. Login with email. Okay, login view model user created successfully. So it's saying that okay, user is created. Let's see if it's created or not. We will go in the Firebase console and in the authentication tab, users. Okay, you can see the user is created. So now user is created. Now we'll add more methods to check if a user is logged in or not. And so we'll pass the user information as well. So we'll go back in the code. Let me hide the logs. Okay. So we'll open we go back in the common main. We'll go in the interface. We have to make some changes here. So instead of returning the unit, I think we should return something which we can use, like a user data. So because this is an interface and we have to provide some values here which we can use both on the Android and iOS side. So we have to create our own user class. Okay, so I will create the user class data class here. This is not a good practice. I'm adding all the files in one folder, so you have to use multiple folders like domain, dependency injections, data, remote, but it's fine for now. So we'll place data class user. Let's say my user, because if we don't want it to confuse with the Firebase user. We want the email, we don't want the password, nor we have the password. Let's say the most important is user ID string. Okay, fine. So I guess we're saying that when create, just return our my user, and when login, just return our my user. And so we have to make changes here on the Android side as well. So I will go back here in the module. So obviously we have to, inside of unit, we have to return the my user here, my user as well. So we have this user, Firebase user. So we'll just get the values from there, my user ID. Okay, thank you, autocomplete. So we'll do the same thing here as well on the login section. One more important method, we don't want to show the login screen again and again to the user. So we have to check somehow if the user is logged in or not. So we'll create another method, suspend font is logged in. Okay, it will return just a boolean, true or false, right? So we have to obviously implement it here as well on the login side. So to check the login, yeah, this is what we have to do. Firebase auto, we have to check if the current user is not null. Thanks autocomplete again. This autocomplete is not going to help on the site, I'm sure. Okay. So we have this login screen, and so okay. So we can yes, we can create some function like fun is user logged in. This is just in the view model so that I can check in the login screen if a user is logged in or not. So it will return auth is logged in. This is spend function. We don't need it to be spended, but yeah, it's fine. So we say that where is logged in mutable state false. Okay, if result equal true. So this result is just a boolean which is telling us is logged in or not. So we can say that, or we can just say that is logged in is equal to auth is logged in. It's pretty simple. So this is the login function which we just created. So we can check this in the login screen when we just open the application. So for this we can use this launch effect unit. Okay, check if user logged in. So here if user is logged in, so maybe we need the user as well. Okay, so I think here okay, we will create another function, suspend fun, get user. So this is you can create many methods which you need, right? So it was also suggesting me to create a logout method. So maybe if you wants to log out user, so these two methods we also have to we again have to implement here. So I will just, this is on the Android side. Remember, we are just working on the common main and Android side for now. We have to do the same things on the iOS side as well. So for the logout, I think sign out, yeah. And for to return the user, return. Okay, so this is just returning the user. If user is null, just return the error message. Okay, fine. We go back in the view model, so we can say where user, my user, right? So here we might need the user as well. Auth.get user to get a null. We'll copy this. Instead of create user, we'll create another method login. Okay, we already have this login. So create login. Remember, this create login get user are not by the Firebase. These are just our own methods we just created, right? Okay, if on success user is equal to it, otherwise on failure it will show, it will write a error message on the logs. We may want to show it to user, so we can, okay, let's add another method, another variable, which is error message. Okay, so when there is error, we will just write the value here. Okay, and when we try to log in again, we just have to clear its value, and when on the create user as well. So I will go back in this login screen. So here first I will see if there is another error. If error method is not blank, so we will just show the error here, and this autocomplete is already doing for me, thank you. And one more thing, if view model dot user is not is equal to null, so if the user is not null, we just don't have to show these login screens as well. So we can say that user is logged in successfully. We can show its email as well, right? User dot email. Also remember these things, this code is not very clean, it's very ugly. So for this video, the purpose of this video is to show you how you can use the Firebase, not how you can write clean code. This is very ugly code, you don't do that here. But for the simplicity, I'm just writing all the code in one file, right? So we can return here, or we can add the else condition. So in the else, we will show this, or right? And if user is logged in, maybe we can add a button to log out to test it. So I will create a button. Log out. So we have to create an function fun logout. We'll call that logout function here, and in the logout, because we already created a method, so we can call that method here. Out.logout user is none. Okay, fine. Okay, let's see how it works. So I will run this again. Okay, so user is already logged in because we logged in earlier. So I will click on logout. So now it's, remember when we create the user, it also makes it as a login. So we can log in. So if I write wrong password, it should show some kind of error. Okay, it's crashing. Let me see why it's crashing. Oh, right. So this is how we do it. So let me go back in the Firebase authentication code. Here previously I was wondering how we will get the authentication error, like what kind of error is it. So I was trying to get the error. So instead of we just have to wrap it in the run catching, because this await can throw the exception as well. Return. Like this. So you just have to wrap it in the run catching, and I think we don't need this here. Okay, fine. And on the create user as well. So when it throws error, it run catching will wrap it in the result error. Okay, so I build it again. And run it again. I will write the wrong password again and see if this error message is getting wrapped. I will write. Okay, I clicked on create. The email is already in use by another account because I clicked on create. If I clicked on login, the supplied auth credential is incorrect. Okay, good. 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, if I click on login, user logged in successfully. Okay, so I think we are done on the Android side. Now the main part is iOS side, which is a bit tricky. Not tricky, we just have to do the same things. First we connect it to the Firebase, then we implement our myauth method, and we'll write the code. Okay, so first thing first, this is our project on the iOS side. First we have to connect it with the Firebase, right? So we will use the SPM Swift package manager to connect it with the Firebase. Previously we use Cocoa pods or Cocoa pods like this, but that is deprecated and we don't use it anymore. So I will go in the sign in and capabilities. No, not in the sign in capabilities. Click on the project, package dependencies. I will click on plus. Okay, the Firebase iOS SDK is on the top, but basically what you will do is you will not see this. So you have to click on search or enter package URL, and this is the GitHub repository of Firebase iOS SDK. So you paste it here, then you will see something like this. Okay, then I will click on add package. It will take some time to load the files from the repository. So we have to wait here. It actually loads all the Firebase libraries, which is not good, I think. So you see, this is very easy. You just have to create the interface, then implement interface, then pass it with the dependency injection. These are just 3 easy steps. Okay, so what we need? So it's saying that choose the packages you need. So first we have to add the Firebase core in our app. Then we have to add the Firebase auth in our app. Let me see if we need any other things. Firebase core, Firebase auth. I think that's it. So I will click on this add package and I think I am done with this. Okay, one more thing, we have to connect it with the Firebase as well. We just implemented the Firebase libraries, so we have to add it. So if I go in the target, you see this is our bundle identifier. This is same as the package name on the Android side. So I will go on our Firebase in the project overview. I will click on add app iOS. This is the bundle ID we have to paste here. App name, we don't need the store ID for now. So we have to download this info plist file, which is equivalent of the JSON file on the Firebase. I will copy it. Next, and go here, and I think here in the iOS app where you have all the files, I will paste here. Oh, not this. So it should be like this: Google Services info plist, right? And they are saying that you have to configure the Firebase. You have to call this line here. So this is just, they are saying that okay, you just, when your application run, you have to call the configuration of the Firebase. So basically, like we can call it here, right? So let me see if the project is working fine. I will build it and see if there is any error. This video is very long. Maybe I will try to make it fast, like where we was waiting. Okay, missing argument parameter for the auth, cannot find Firebase in the scope. So we import Firebase core. Here we have to pass the authentication, like same as we passed. So we can say auth is equal to nil, I think, or maybe auth. So this function init coin we created on the common main, we added one more parameter, authentication. So what I was saying is, okay, so you added that there, you just have to provide the implementation from here. So maybe you get my point. So we have to create implementation. So I will create a new empty file. Let's name it Firebase auth impl again. So it will be a class Firebase auth impl ns object and my auth. So these two libraries we will import here. This compose app is our common main, and this Firebase is Firebase. So my auth, you see my auth, because we wrote it in the common main, so we can access it here in the Swift code as well. So this is just asking to apply all the methods. Create because our method was suspending, so it's creating the two versions of every method, one with the async and one with the callback method. So we don't need this callback method, so we will just keep our async methods. So I will remove. Okay, so we are done. So we have these method: create, get user, is logged in, login, logout. So we have to provide the implementation here. And I don't remember the iOS Swift code as well. I think it, let me see, I wrote it here. And okay, this is a Kotlin code. So this is the code. Okay. So continuation will use dot auth dot. So we just have to add the Firebase sign-in code here. I don't remember the code, so I'm just copying this code snippet which I wrote it earlier. It was not any, it was get user. I'm just seeing here the equivalent of the Kotlin result. Okay, I don't remember. Let me ask the ChatGPT what was the equivalent of the Kotlin result, because we uh, from here we are returning this result. Okay, result. Okay, I think instead of making this complicated, we can make uh, one our own class of result instead of just using by the Kotlin. I'm sure we can access this as well in the as in there as well, but okay, instead of just returning the result, we can return. Okay, we can create our own class, seed class. Instead of result, we can say it response. So there will be a success response and one is failure response, obviously. So data class success, and I think it was like this. It was something like this. I forget this as well, so I will ask ChatGPT to create it. What was it? A sale class, it is success. So to type T. Yeah. So instead of using the Kotlin class, we'll use this our own response class. So here response type my user, it will return response my user. So we have to edit our this class as well to return response. Yes, like this. So we need to copy this here as well. So let's create. Okay, fine. This get user, we have to update it as well to use our own response class. Okay. So back response. This is a bit tricky on the iOS side to use the shared code. So we have to update it as well instead of fold. So it's like this, and we have to do same in the login as well. Okay, I think we're done here. We have to build it again. Now we'll go back in the Swift site. Have to build. Here it will return create response. Let me see if I can access our response class. No. I think I have to build the project again. So I will build it, then we can access the response class which we just created. Okay, yes, now we can access. So we have to return response, which will be user, right? Response of type my user, right? So here as well, and here as well. Right, so now we have to provide the implementation of the Firebase. Now we can this is response, success and failure. So I go back. So these are the methods we have to provide the functionality implementation of, right? So create, get user, is logged in, login and logout. So for the create, so this is the simple code I copied because it will take me time for me to write. So this is the checked continuation. We are calling the Firebase library auth, create user, email, password. If there is an if the user is successful, then we'll pass the user back. This is my user class we created, and if there is error, we just return the error. Okay, and same thing we will do here. First we will get the user auth print user is equal to null. Okay, it's nil here. Then we will return failure response, return response failure message, user not found. Okay, otherwise we will return. Okay, what we can do is we can return the user not found here, and here we can return success and if let user and user cannot find response success result. Yes. Oh yeah, we have to convert the user to my user, so it will be like this. So here we are saying that if the user is not null, then return the user, otherwise return the error. So return and log out auth dot sign out, and for the login we will use this same code because we don't want to write it again here instead of okay. Command can throw. Okay, so we have created the implementation method, sorry, class. Now we just have to pass this class with the coin. So we'll go back here. Instead of we were passing nil, we will pass this Firebase auth implementation. Now we'll build and see if it works or not. So we run it on our simulator on this and see if it works. Whew. Okay, so let's try to create first. We create test iOS. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, it's working. User logged in successfully. testios@gmail.com. We can log out, and if I go here on the Firebase, in the authentication tab, I can see the user here. Test iOS with the OS and test Gmail with the Android side we created. So I can log in. If I log out and write incorrect password, I might see the error. Okay, fine, this is working. I will upload this project on the GitHub and will leave the link to the repository as well in the description, so you can check it out.